Dr. Ellis, please, for 5 minutes.
Well, thank you very much, Chair. You know, Minister, you've been very careless with your use of the truth here today, and that's very sad on behalf of Canadians. When we know very clearly that the president of PHAC was called to the bar of the House of Commons, we know that your government, your Liberal government, took the Speaker to court to prevent these documents from coming to light, and we also know that your government called a COVID election to prevent these documents from coming to light. So your application is reckless, it's careless on behalf of Canadians, which is what sadly we've come to expect from you, not to mention you've been exceedingly careless with the truths that you have expounded on a multitude of other topics today. So that being said, who is accountable for this egregious breach of security? Who is it?
Well, in the first order, I will completely reject and disagree with what you said at the beginning. The dispute that occurred within the House of Commons was that the government at the day, which was our government, said that this matter could be, all the documents could be seen at NSI COP. And the position of Parliament was they wanted to table drop national security documents. So we can't let that happen. Carelessly treating national security documents would have profound implications for our Five Eyes partners. Now, we de-escalated that, as you will recall, by me suggesting that we have an ad hoc process with a group of panels and arbiters that could independently review those documents and make them available. Everything that I said to the letter is true. You saying something isn't true, well, an interesting, rhetorical device doesn't make it true.
Well, thank you very much, Minister, and obviously the same is true for you. The facts speak for themselves, considering the fact that you don't even know what's in the documents. So who is accountable? Who is it for this mess?
Who's accountable? I'm accountable.
You are. Excellent. Who will you hold to account at PHAC?
I believe PHAC acted in a way always in the highest order.
Who will you hold to account?
I have looked at the situation,
and
I believe PHAC handled the situation.
Who is it?
Me.
Who at PHAC? Who's going to lose their job over this?
Nobody.
Nobody. So there is an act of treason, and of course treason is defined in the Criminal Code of Canada as the sharing of military or scientific information
Who are you accusing
with an agent
of treason?
Of a foreign state.
Who are you accusing of treason?
Listen, I'm not here for you to ask
If you're going to accuse somebody of treason, you're absolutely going to answer for it. Who are you accusing of treason, sir?
Who are you accusing
of treason?
To make this committee bow down.
You can't accuse somebody of treason and not name them. That's totally irresponsible.
I'm here to ask the questions, and you're here to answer them, which you continue to refuse to do. So this is actually a point of privilege if you don't want to answer the questions. Is that how you want to do this?
What I want to be able to do is understand who you just accused of treason, sir. That's an incredibly awful accusation.
Do you know what the definition of treason is?
Who are you accusing of treason?
No, I'm asking questions. Do you know what the definition of treason is?
I get to ask questions. You don't get to dictate that. Who are you accusing of treason, sir?
Do you know what the definition of treason is?
Who are you accusing of treason?
Oh, you really have no idea.
Who are you accusing of treason?
That's exactly what Canadians want to hear.
Who are you accusing of treason?
What's the definition of treason, Minister?
If you are going to accuse somebody of treason in this country, that is a reprehensible thing to do, and I would ask that you name who you are accusing of treason. I do not need to answer your questions,
but you need to answer mine. What is the definition of treason? Do you have any idea?
Well, I'd be curious. You name somebody as being treasonous, so who are they, and what's your definition?
I asked you what the definition of treason is. Do you know what it is?
Betraying your country.
No, that's not it. It is actually very simply knowingly communicating military or scientific information or documents to an agent of a state other than Canada with the intention of jeopardizing the safety or defense of Canada.
So
did that happen at this lab?
In neither you nor I are a lawyer, but you and I would both know that calling somebody something like a...
You know what, Minister? You're not a doctor, but you made a whole bunch of claims today that are non-scientific.
But naming somebody,
well.
saying that somebody is a traitor, okay, is a very serious accusation, and I would say that it's normally a matter that would be determined by courts.
Yeah.
And
but
so I'm asking, I had asked you who you would...
what the definition is, Minister. You have no idea. You're clueless.
Well, that's your characterization, and I don't know that. I think you felt that. But sir, you felt that way before you met me. You're so blinded by your partisanship, you would have thought that about me before you even spoke to me.
No, you've actually proven it today that you don't know the facts of your file. That's the worst part.
I don't know what the purpose is.
Excuse me. Retreat to your corners for a second. Go ahead, Mr. Nakvi.
I just really fail to see the line of questioning from the member opposite. What I find it even more disappointing is the constant name calling that he has taken, and I've let it go for a few times, but that does not advance a thoughtful, rational questioning. He's got legitimate questions that he wants to ask, but he can ask them in a manner that are to the point and factual beside calling names.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nakvi. I'm inclined to agree, Dr. Ellis. You're absolutely entitled to ask aggressive questions, but there's no place for insults. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. I would say I have about 30 seconds left. I think pointing out to Canadians that this minister doesn't know his file, that he's reckless and permissive and lax with security, I think that that's absolutely accurate and adequate. Absolutely. So the question here is then, what you're telling Canadians is that no one will be held accountable for an egregious breach of security, sending talent and information and abilities to a foreign hostile power. Is that true, sir?
Canadian citizens in question were fired. The Canadian citizens in question are under investigation, as is appropriate. They are eminent scientists who lied to PHAC and misrepresented their actions.
These are eminent
and there were
scientists.
consequences. These individuals were fired and under investigation. The fact that you are not achieving your partisan ends is not my concern.
As well, Chair.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Dr. Ellis.